What's good? What's good? Welcome to this channel. My name is Ben Bimpong, and today we will be talking about losing weight and getting in shape. Yeah, I love this topic. I've been in fitness for about 20 years. It's an area that I do have experience in and with, and I want to be helpful. I want to be helpful to those out there who are deciding to have this nice, clean, neat plan going into the new year. And I want to help out those who are striving to get in good shape. And so this will be part one of a three-part series. This video will be specifically on losing weight through diet and self-control. The next video will be about losing weight through exercise and stewardship. And the third video will be about cheat days and pleasure. Okay. And so I might do a fourth video. I'm not sure yet. If I decide to do a fourth video, then you will see 4 videos on this topic. But all in all, I just want to be able to help out those who are striving to lose some weight, and to be specific, lose some body fat. Okay. So for this video, my format would be as follows. I'm going to speak on the details in regard to my diet. I'm going to give suggestions in regard to what you can do. But before I do those things, I'm going to speak on self-control. I think self-control is the skill needed to be successful as it pertains to losing weight and getting in shape. Okay? And so I'm going to really touch on that. And then I'm going to do some biblical integration in regard to the aspect of self-control in dieting with the aspect of self-control in the spiritual walk. And so here's what I'm not saying. I'm not saying that one becomes holy by partaking in a workout journey where they cultivate the skill of self-control. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that you can use the journey and you can use the skill of self-control in regard to dieting and exercise. You can cultivate that skill and then you can apply that into the spiritual walk. Okay? But we'll get into detail about that. So let's just get going. I found an article from someone, I'm not familiar with him in particular, but I liked his article. His name is Daryl Wingerd, and the article is called The Value of Physical Fitness for the Christian. Okay? I'm going to read his section on self-control. I may stop and add some of my commentary into it, but I like what he had to say. He said, as Paul said in 1 Timothy 4 and 1 Corinthians 9, the most valuable exercise of self-control is not that related to physical exercise, but that which produces godliness. So let me stop right there. Great start. He's saying that self-control that produces godliness really is the true great gain. Okay? And he says that, he said that the exercise of self-control in relation to physical exercise, it is not more valuable than that of obtaining or striving to become more godly and more holy. Okay. But listen to what he says. He said, nevertheless, the self-control required in achieving health and physical fitness can help you establish better habits in spiritual areas as well. Okay? So that's what I hold to as well. He's saying that the self-control that you need in regard to achieving health and physical fitness, that same self-control can help you establish good habits in regard to spiritual areas. Okay? And he gives an example. Let me read his example. He said, for example, establishing self-discipline in exercise and eating can teach you principles that will help you become more self-disciplined in Bible reading and prayer. So that's really good. I like that he used the term principles. The same principles that you will use as it pertains to exercise and dieting, those are the same principles that you can use as it pertains to spiritual disciplines. Okay? And then he said, training yourself to persevere while enduring the physical challenges of exercise can help you learn to persevere while enduring the spiritual difficulties of the Christian life. It's so true. Like I've seen it in my life where I've had to use the same principles of enduring and persevering, the same principles from a hard workout. I had to apply that to struggles in the Christian walk. Now, that's not to say that someone who is not physically active can't persevere through a trial. I'm not saying that. But as I stated earlier, you can use the skill of self-control when it comes to working out. You can translate that into the walk with Christ. Okay? And then he said, the self-control required to deny yourself too much unhealthy food or the temptation to sleep in rather than working out can help you become more effective in resisting temptations to sin. I asked my wife the other day, I said, what do you think is the hardest thing to do as it pertains to self-control? What's one of the hardest things that we struggle with? And she stated, dealing with food, having self-control with what we eat. I wholeheartedly agree. It's tough. We tend to eat with our emotions. We tend to eat with our passions. We tend to eat for comfort. We look at food as pleasure. And I'm not saying that those things are wrong. But what I'm saying is there's a time and place for everything. When you go on a diet, you got to be rational. You got to be strategic. You got to be disciplined. You got to be consistent. You got to have self-control or you will not be successful. Okay? And in his last sentence, he stated, it's all a matter of learning to bring your body into subjection, making it your slave rather than your master. You got to get to a place where you control those urges or those desires. Those desires don't control you. You're not under the desire's dominion. You have control and dominion over those particular desires as it pertains to eating. Okay? And so I like what he stated in that section of his article. I would recommend that you read it for yourself. I would strive to post it in my description, but I think he's pretty accurate in speaking about making a correlation between self-control in fitness and self-control in the Christian walk. Okay. Now let's get into some of the details. Okay. I'm going to speak about my diet. And let me give you some context here. So I'm someone that I have a very slow metabolism. What that means is I don't do well with carbs. I don't handle carbs well. If I eat a lot of carbs regularly, I will put on weight. I can put on about 5 to 8 pounds in a week, easily. Okay? And so that's my body type. Another aspect about my body type is it's very hard for me to lose weight. Very hard. Very hard. Very challenging. And it takes a while for me to lose body fat. And what's one more thing about my body type? I talked about my metabolism. I talked about carbs. Talked about the hardness of losing weight. And I would say the last thing, which is a good thing, is I can put on muscle fairly easy if I lift weights, But in regard to losing fat, it's difficult. Okay. And so for me, I have to eat in a certain way in order to be successful. And so my diet is not for everybody. It's not for everybody. But I believe that it would apply for some who are similar to me. Okay. So what do I do? Well, number one, I drink a gallon of water a day. Distilled water. I don't drink pop. I don't drink juice. I don't drink coffee. I just do 1 gallon of water. And I'll tell you why in a little bit. Number two, I do a low carb diet. I do a ketogenic diet. I stay below 50 grams of carbs a day. I've done different versions of this diet. I've done it to where it was 0 carbs a day. I've done it to where it was no more than 20 carbs a day. Now I don't go over 50 carbs a day. Okay. I can't handle more than that at this moment. So, number three, I'm constantly eating at a caloric deficit. So for me, I do not go over 2,000 calories a day. Okay. And so I stay at 2,000 each day, unless it's my cheat day. My cheat day, I'm probably at about 15,000 calories, legitimately. So, number four, I do intermittent fasting. Okay, and to be more specific, I do 1 meal a day. And so let me give an explanation about intermittent fasting, and then I will tell you why I do 1 meal a day. So intermittent fasting, what it means is that you fast throughout the day, and then you have an eating window. And so maybe your eating window is between 4 p.m. and 10 p.m. And that's the time that you are to eat. And outside of that time frame, you don't eat. Okay. So for me, I do one meal a day, and this is why. And I'm gonna tie in the aspect of my gallon of water into this point. Years ago, when I was doing a diet at a caloric deficit, it was a struggle for me to have 5 to 6 meals and to stay at 2,000 calories. Because when I go to sleep hungry, I don't sleep. And so, in my thinking, I said, why don't I just, rather than having 3 to 4 to 5 meals, why don't I just save all my calories to the end of the day so that I can have a big dinner? And I tried it and tried it, and it worked. And I just stuck with it for like the past decade. So that's that. With the water piece, uh, I started to drink a gallon of water maybe about 13 years ago, and it actually helped a lot with my thinking, um, with my migraines. It helped out with just even having energy throughout the day. And also, too, I said to myself, I'm just going to drink water because, like, if I drink juice and pop and coffee and all these different beverages, I'm wasting calories away. Why don't I just drink water and add those 600 calories to the food that I'm going to eat for dinner? And so from that point, I made the transition. And it's been good. It's been good for me for many, many years. So I do one meal a day. It's on the extreme side of things. I would recommend intermittent fasting, but that's what I do. Okay. Number 5, I utilize a men's rip pack from GNC. I've been doing this rip pack since I was about 20, 21 years of age. I love it. It has all that I need. It has a thermogenic, which helps with fat loss. It has CLA pills. It has 2 multivitamins. And then it has a water pill to drain out the water. So I would recommend getting that. There's 30 packs in the box. It's about $80. Between 60 and 80 depending on the time of the year. And it lasts for 1 month. So I would recommend getting that. Number 6, this is more into the exercise piece of things, but I do fasted cardio. Meaning when I get up to go work out, I don't eat anything. I don't drink anything but water, and I go work out. And then after I work out, I just drink water. Okay. And when we get into the exercise video, I will explain the science behind that. Number 7, I don't get too exotic with my dinners. I have 3 dinners that I rotate throughout the week. And so one dinner would be hamburgers with keto buns and stir-fried vegetables. Another dinner would be I eat brats with keto buns and eggs. And then another video will be brats with, I said it wrong earlier. I think it's brats or brats. I can't remember, but I eat those with keto buns, stir-fried vegetables, and eggs. Okay. I use low-carb barbecue sauce and low-carb ketchup. To me, tastes almost the same, and I keep it at 2,000 calories. And so I don't get too exotic. I used to be exotic, and I'll do a keto pizza, and I'll do almond flour pancakes, and I'll do this and I'll do that, and I'm just like I'm too busy to be spending all that time crafting these meals. I'm a principal at a Christian school. I have a family. I'm in seminary. I try to just keep it simple, you know. And so I just stick to those 3 meals and I just rotate them uh, day to day. Okay. And then my last uh, favorable thing that I do is cheat days. I have a cheat day. Well, before I say that, let me say this. In my opinion, I think when you start with a diet and workout regimen, I believe you should go 5 straight weeks with no cheat days. Okay? You should go 5 straight weeks with no cheat days. Because what you're doing is you're retraining your body in regard to how it utilizes food for fuel, and you're retraining your mind and you're being consistent. Okay? So I would say go 5 straight weeks, and then I would say introduce a cheat day. Okay? And for me, I do a cheat day once every 2 weeks. And it's a cheat day. I don't do cheat meals. I don't do 2 cheat meals. I don't play around. I have cheat days where I'm eating probably between 12 and 15,000 calories. And I have a system that I utilize that helps me to not put on any weight. In fact, usually for me, once I incorporate the cheat day, I actually lose weight, which is interesting. So, but yeah, those are my tenets. Those are the things that I do as it pertains to losing weight in regard to dieting. Um, Now I would give you some suggestions, and I want you to hear this. I make suggestions, you make decisions, okay? And so my suggestion would be number one, uh, limit the juice, limit the pop, limit all those drinks, and just stick to water. It will be a benefit to you. It'll help out with the clarity of mind. It will help out with having more food to eat. But I would recommend just drinking water. Number two, yes, I will recommend the low carb ketogenic diet. It's helped out with my migraines. The keto diet and water has helped out mightily with my migraines and just having more energy and just feeling good. So I would recommend that. I would say you don't have to do 50 grams or less. You can start off at 100 grams. You can start off at 75 grams. But whatever you do, stay consistent. I would say, yes, you need to be at a caloric deficit. Um, it doesn't have to be 2,000 calories. You could be at 2,500 calories. You could be at 2,400 calories. Whatever you do, stay consistent. And here's another thing. I don't get into counting the macros and how much fats I'm eating and how much proteins I'm eating and all of that. I used to do that for a little bit. I don't do it anymore. This is what I do count. I count how many calories I'm eating and how many carbs I'm having. Okay. I believe for me, I do those two things. Everything else falls into play. Okay. Um, I will also suggest that you get into intermittent fasting. You don't have to do the 1 meal a day uh, thing that I do. Get you an eating window. Stick to that window. Don't break that standard. Whatever standard you develop, stick to the standard. Okay. Uh, I would suggest that you get you a rip pack. People say, "Oh, I'm gonna do it natural." You need help. you need help, you know, you need help. A rip pack will give you some energy. It'll help out with the fat loss, and it'll just be good for you to try out. So, and there's a women's version as well. So, uh, yes, I would recommend fasted cardio, even if you can't do a full fasted cardio. Um, way of doing it where you don't eat before and after. I would say that don't eat before working out. Maybe just eat after and eat something like maybe a Quest bar. Well, no, I can't say that because I'm suggesting for you to have uh, a eating window with intermittent fasting. So yeah, 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 that's a challenge. I would say what you can do is kind of break in the fast, but if you definitely cannot do a full blown out fasted cardio implementation, I would recommend that maybe having a protein shake afterwards. I would do that. But then I wouldn't eat again until your eating window. Okay. And then, yeah, you can be exotic. I'm not going to tell you what you can and cannot do in regard to the foods that you eat. I would say for me, staying simple, much easier than trying to make several different meals throughout the week. So, um, for me, the simple, the better. But, uh, if you want to be exotic and make different meals and be creative, go for it. I said it wrong. The simpler, the better. Let me be better in my grammar. And then cheat days. You know what? Do not have a cheat day until week 5. The end of week 5. Day 35. Do not have a cheat day until then. And then once you have your cheat day then I would do a rotation of every 2 weeks. Okay? When I was younger, I used to go every week, but I can't do that anymore. I got to go every 2 weeks. So, but yeah, that's all I have for today. One more thing. My suggestion, step on the scale day 1. Do not step on the scale until day 35. And I'll speak more on why I say that in the next video. But outside of that, take care. Hopefully, this was somewhat helpful. And I'll see you all soon. Take care.